How's it going, everybody? I'm Kenny with JK Bronco, and this is the podcast, episode 1. So, this is basically where we're going to talk about the podcast and what we have to offer during the podcast. A lot of people are always asking us questions. We try to find our opportunities to try to answer them on social media, but we are taking an opportunity now to create a podcast to talk about some of these questions people are always asking us and kind of give our feedback and our knowledge and experience in some of these fields that we've gone through. So, let's get started. My name's Kenny. I'm your host, and we're going to talk a little bit about how we got started. 2019, we actually started doing YouTube videos, and we started washing cars, doing detailed videos as far as how to get stains out of vehicles, and we tried to do some off-roading stuff and some cool cars and all that kind of stuff. We just couldn't find our niche. So, as most of you guys know on YouTube, is once you find your niche, that's what people are looking for. They want to see your natural habitat, and that's kind of where I developed into the overlanding and some of the stuff that we do here on the channel with the Bronco build and the trailer build. So back in 2020 when we all got locked down, I was struggling with being locked up all the time. Now we were going out a little bit here and there and doing some walks and stuff, but it wasn't enough. So I decided to start working on some Jeeps. You know, my wife and I, we found a couple good price Jeeps. One of them was a YJ that we found local here about 20 miles away. And then we found another one, a TJ. So we started fixing both of them up. And once we started fixing them up, we kind of did some videos of some how-tos and some different things that we were doing with them. And for the most part, they came out really good. Dumb mistakes, as everybody makes. We got rid of them. First, we got rid of my blue TJ that we raptor lined. It was really nice. If you guys want to see some of that video, you guys can go back into the channel and check some of that stuff out. But the blue TJ we got rid of. We were getting ready to lift that up. We actually felt like we were upgrading to an excursion because we wanted to get into overlanding. When we started using the Jeeps, we realized very quickly that we weren't going to have enough space for our family to be able to take everybody overlanding and be successful at this as an enjoyable experience. So as we started to get rid of the TJ, we got the excursion. We thought that was going to be great. Off-roading vehicle. We started fixing that up, did the same. We were going to take it off-road and it was going to get abused. And we started to try to build our own first rooftop tent. Well, that was a failure. Not really a failure. It took us to the next step. We learned quickly that wasn't our niche. We couldn't build a rooftop tent to save our life. We tried everything. I'm not a canvas guy. I'm not a material guy. Sewing's not my niche. So we moved on. Canned that. Went on with the next project. Got rid of the excursion. Long story short, we fast forward a few years into the future as we get the Bronco. Now, once we got the Bronco Sport, originally we weren't going to do anything with it. We were just kind of going to enjoy it and take it out on some trips, just have it because I'm a Bronco fan. I used to have a 96. I loved it. I was super excited to see when they brought the Broncos back out, but when the full size kept getting backordered, we decided to work towards the Bronco Sport. And once we got that, I wanted to build something cool. You know, not saying the Bronco Sport's not cool. I just want to bring the cool factor up even higher on it. You know, it's a crossover. It's a little smaller than the full-size Bronco. Everybody's talking about the full-size Bronco, but nobody's talking about the capability of what the small Bronco and what Ford said it could do. So we decided to take it and challenge it, modify it, bring it up to standard, and go test it out on the trails as far as what Ford says it can do. And you would be very surprised on some of our videos and some other people that you see out there is these Bronco Sports will do just about anything you want them to within reason. The ground clearance is still an issue where you got to get it up a little bit. So we are working towards that. I know Ben from HRG Engineering said that they are working on a lift kit, 3-inch one. So we've been in contact with them. They've been very super helpful. As you know, they've put a lot of work into trying to help us out with the lift kit, the ditch lights. So we're always working with them. They got some skid plates that they're working on too, and we're hoping to get our hands on so that we can test those out and kind of show those off and basically be able to protect the bottom of it. That would be really cool. But the factory, what am I looking for? The factory felt that was on there is not really anything. It's like a felt piece of cardboard. We've taken all that stuff off. We were having problems when we went down to Florida, and basically what happened was we went over some mud ruts and some other stuff, and it ripped some of the bolts right out. And they were cheap plastic stuff down there. It wasn't built very well in my eyes from Ford. That's an upgrade I think Ford can improve on if they're going to do that kind of stuff. After talking to one of the dealerships, we were talking about it because I was trying to find the little metal nuts, bolts, nuts that go on there to actually put those back up so that they don't keep falling down. And he basically said even on the Escapes and some of the other ones, they just pull them off. So not to get too much sidetracked, as 2021 was going through and we were still in COVID, my son was getting ready to graduate in 2022. So we decided he was part of the early graduation program, which was awesome. I'm super proud of him for that. So he got to graduate early in December and get out of school, start the workforce. He was super excited. So I'm super proud for him, what he's doing on that kind of stuff. So I decided, we're going to go out on vacation. He didn't get to go with us. He was wanting to go do some stuff with his friends, but we went to Portsmouth Island. We went to the East Coast and kind of took the Bronco Sport out there. And when we did that, we bought the rooftop tent. We had a couple other things. We bought the awning from Napa, and we enjoyed it. We took it out on the beach at Portsmouth Island. If you guys haven't seen that video, you guys go check out our feed. We got all these videos and everything we're talking about in our past history in our feed. So. We were out there camping and it was really fun, but when we wanted to go somewhere, we had to pack everything up, which isn't a problem because when you get the rooftop tent and all this other stuff, it actually makes it super easy for you to close it all up and do that. But doing that multiple times on a trip kind of sucks. So I'm sorry to say that, but it does. You get everything set up the way you want it. Everything's perfect. Not really perfect, but set up where you want it and it's comfortable for you for where you can manage it and do what you need to. And all of a sudden you got to pack it up the next day, you go travel, then you come back, set it all back up. So there are niches, or not niches. There's benefits to having a trailer compared to just the unit. Have I thought about doing another rooftop tent on the Bronco? Yes, I thought about getting one up there. But I want a sleeker one. One's going to be like a hard shell, slimmer one to put up there that we can actually use to kind of cut down the wind and everything. But, for right now, we have a bigger family. So that's where we decided after this trip, we decided to build a trailer. I did a lot of research on this. And after doing some research, I was trying to find ways of building a trailer that would fit our means. But after I learned about some of the inspection and some of the other stuff out there, it was actually better to just go find a trailer that had a title. So I found Harbor Freight trailers. You can go buy those brand new. I think it was about $500 that you could buy them for back in the day. They have gone up from that. But you got a title for them. You got the paperwork. You took it in. There was a title, and bam, you got a title. It was registered. State of Illinois, if you build that kind of stuff and do homemade trailers, you can register for that kind of stuff. So that's what we did. But when I went to Harbor Freight to buy a trailer, sold out. Every place I called, every place I looked, they're all sold out. So I went to Facebook, started looking on Facebook, seeing that nobody really had any. And then all of a sudden, about a week or two later, I came across this guy up in the Chicago area. He had a Harbor Freight trailer. And it wasn't a Harbor Freight trailer when I got it. Somebody modified it a few times and done some stuff to it. But when I looked at it, I was like, okay, this will work perfect. Had the title for it, did what we needed to. We purchased it, brought it home. Rest is history. So we built the trailer. That's basically built out so that we can have our family with us. We can have all of our kids if we need to. Plus, we have a base tent that we can actually set up with it. So we mounted the rooftop tent up top. We got the 2 sleeping areas on the side. We got the kitchen in the back. We got the shower. We got the awning. We got all the amenities you're going to need when you go out there. And that's for us. When it comes to overlanding and doing different things for you, this should be what you guys need. So this might not fit everybody. This might fit somebody else's needs with a bigger family. So maybe this will help them out. But if you're going on a solo trip or you're like my brother, I got him into overlanding. He's super stoked to do that kind of stuff. We're actually heading up to Michigan next weekend. That's going to be really awesome because my uncle's got some land up there up in the Allegan State Game area. Yep, we're going back there. We're going to do some more footage. We're going to check it out. And we're going to see if we can do some interviews and do some walk-arounds with my brother's rig. He's got a 2021 Ram 1500. He's got that all decked out. He's done a custom rack on the back. He's done an amazing job on it. He's got the rooftop tent up on the back. He's got a whole bunch of other stuff that goes up underneath there. Done an amazing job. I'm looking forward to maybe hopefully do a walk around with his rig to kind of show you guys. And then my uncle, he's actually the one who helped me get more into this kind of stuff because he's been a Jeep guy, and I was always envy of him because he always had the really nice Jeeps, and I really wanted a nice Jeep. That's kind of why I was building the TJ and the YJ, which those were nice Jeeps for what we wanted them for. But then they just didn't fit what we needed because we needed space, and the two-door Jeeps wasn't there. And because Jeeps right now are really expensive for the four-door JKUs and the JLUs and all that, we decided to go with the Bronco Sport, which was just something a little bit different. Yes, it's pricey, but it's for the price difference, Jeeps I think are still way up there. We still are Jeep people. We love Jeeps, but yeah, he's actually the one who got me into this kind of stuff. He got me into off-roading. We as kids, my dad and uncle would get together. We would go up to Michigan and we'd go to a place called Rifle River, and that's kind of where some of my camping experience comes from, is going up there and roughing it. And Rifle River was exactly that. That was roughing it, and that was overlanding. Even though there was a cabin up there, it wasn't the overlanding that we talked about today, where you take a trailer or a vehicle up there. We did take our vehicles up there. He did have a pop-up camper, so technically if you wanted to call that overlanding, you could, but there was also a cabin. And the reason for that was because there was bears and stuff up there. It could be dangerous. And back then, a lot of people weren't savvy enough for what we do now. There wasn't a lot of knowledge and a lot of different survival stuff to be out there. Sorry, my dog's out here. He's kind of we're trying to work with him on training and not running away from us. We've been struggling with that. So we try to give him a little bit of freedom to kind of walk around because we want to take him overlanding with us here in the near future. But anyways, so yeah, we went up there. It was a rustic area. Literally, there was no shower. There was an outhouse. Very cool. It was out on the lake. We'd all go do some fishing. I'm not really a fisherman. But we'd go do that and have some fun. We usually spend about a week up there, and it was nice. It was peaceful, in the middle of nowhere. They do have a trip planned this year to head up there. My cousin got him and his wife a weekend trip up there so that they can go visit there and kind of nostalgia the area up there and check it out. And I'm looking forward to seeing some of the stuff that he puts out there as far as him going up there. So yeah. When we were kids, we used to do all sorts of this stuff. As I grew older and I kind of became more independent, my kids, hotel cost was expensive. Like they still is. And when I first got out and my kids were living down in St. Louis after me and my wife went through our divorce, we had some difficulty trying to always visit them. So my solution was I'd go down there a lot and we'd go camping. Down in the Eureka, Missouri area, there was a campground down there. We'd meet up down there. We'd pick up the kids, go have some fun down there, and then come back. And that was becoming kind of a weekly or bi-weekly thing, depending on our schedule and whatnot. But yeah, like camping has always been a thing, and that's all overlanding is. It's just a kind of a fancy term for camping now. But you go with the trend and use that to kind of help promote yourself, and that's kind of what we're doing. We want to bring some of this to people so that they can kind of do what they need to. So that's talking a little bit about the channel and how we got where we're at today. So we built the Bronco, we built the trailer. We've also got the Trailhawk that we're going to be building. We still got that. When we purchased it, we had the intention of lifting and doing some other stuff. We actually found out it's already got a lift kit on it. When I first got in it, it was like really weird how much taller it sat than my Bronco. And I was always wondering that, but it's already got a lift kit on it. So we're going to look towards the beefier tires and try to add some more pieces to it. And what's nice about the Trailhawk is it has what the Bronco Sport doesn't. It has the lockers. It has the full off-road package for us to be able to go test it further than what the Bronco can, so that we can go to different trails. One of our goals is we want to go to Moab, and it probably won't happen this year, but we are going to try. Moab out there is one of our places we want to take the Bronco and the Jeep, so we can go test it out and check out that area out there. So we plan on going to Colorado this year, so maybe we might try to swing up there since we'll be so close to the Moab area. But we'll see. We don't know what's going to happen. But during Colorado, that's actually going to be Overland Mountain West. We actually plan on going out there, meeting with some people, and having some fun. We've been trying to get out more to some of these events. We're part of the E3 Overland Association. We're a member of that. And this March, we actually went down to Texas, met up with Brad. Super cool guy, down to earth, exactly like he is in his videos. That's what I like about some of these YouTubers that we meet out there, is they're down to earth, and I like those guys because they're more connected with their fans because they want to help other people get to a better spot. And that's what he did. Brad's inspired me a lot with this, right along with Matt from Ozark Overland. A lot of these guys I used to watch, I looked up to. Now I kind of am talking to some of these guys, and it's kind of nice because they've helped me, inspire me for that. And I'm hoping I do the same thing for you guys to get you guys out there to try something new. And it might not be even something new. It just might be bringing back something like me, where I used to camp as a kid and camp when I was younger, because hotel costs was just super expensive. So we'd go camping. And that's kind of what we've done with this. Hotel costs is super expensive still. So when we take this out, Logan and I went down to Amarillo. Instead of staying in a hotel one night, we just pulled into a truck stop somewhere, slept in a camper, and away we went. Like, it was nice because if we can't really use a shower there, but we can use a shower out in the truck stops, and that does kind of get expensive. We've been trying to build our miles and gas and stuff like that with the truck stops so that we can get a little bit of our showers built up so that we can use those in the event we need them. But that's to come. So like I said, I hope you guys are liking our content that we have on our YouTube channel. Now, we also have the Patreon account that we actually set up, that we have abilities to do some question and answers and do some behind the scenes and all that other stuff. We really haven't focused a lot of time onto it. If that's something you guys want to see more of and be more part of, then we can do that. We also have the YouTube membership that you can sign up for behind the scenes, that we have some of that set up as well too. So yeah, future trips. I already told you guys, next weekend for Memorial Day weekend, we are heading up to Michigan, to the Allegan State Game Area, and we're going to go check that out. Plus, we are actually going to be hitting up Silver Lake. I know you guys, probably a lot of people don't know about that place, but I didn't really know about it until my uncle was telling me about it. Basically, it's major sand dunes, Jeeps everywhere. It's going to be a busy weekend for there. We understand that, but it's going to be really cool going up there and seeing all this kind of stuff, and we're going to do some really cool footage, and hopefully maybe get the drone up there so that we can kind of get some footage of the dunes and stuff up in Michigan. So we got some other trips planned. We got the Overland Mountain West coming up, that we are actually planning for that. We have some trips that we got to get planned for my two sons that just had birthdays. Actually, Darius is getting ready to have his birthday on the 25th. Seth, my stepson, he just had his birthday. So we got two trips that we still got to get them worked in for. We're not quite sure what we're going to do for them yet. They might actually tag along for some of these other trips that we're going on to, like Mountain West Overland Expo, or some of the other ones. We were actually slotted in for more Expo, but we had some stuff come up from work we had to go take care of, so we had to kind of divert and go take care of that. We do still work full time, so that's the downfall to our channel is, yes, we don't do this full time. This is kind of a hobbyist thing that we do on the side. So what else can we talk about? Future trips. Part of the future trips that we're talking about is we're planning on going to Overland Expo East out in Virginia. We plan on going there. We were slotted to go to All Wheel Drive Fest, which was HRG's event out there for all crossover all-wheel drive systems, which the Bronco was going to compete in, and go out there and try out. But again, work came about, so I will be pushing that we have some dedicated time to this kind of stuff, and I can try to continue to work on growing this. So, but yeah, so the camper, you guys saw the last video. If you haven't, check it out on our feed. We got a lot of people talking about why I set up camp right on the bridge. Now, we didn't set up camp on the bridge. That's actually out by some family land that my parents own out there. And I knew it was going to be a dead end area, but I thought it would be really cool to set it up on the bridge and do some footage and some drone shots and stuff on the actual bridge, kind of flying across, and just something you don't see normally. Because bridges are more populated, you're going to see some sort of traffic. Nice thing about this is a dead end. So that's why we did that. We didn't actually set up camp there. But I wanted something cool. I wanted something that would be different. And that's kind of why we build the channels. We wanted to show different stuff. Now, we do have the capability. We have some land around here we can go to, some private land that if we needed to, we can do some different overlanding in Illinois. But that's what makes it very difficult. You know, we're from the Midwest. I know like Budget Overland's down in Missouri, and, you know, Ozark Overland and all the other guys are down there, and they're part of the Midwest. But we're truly in the Illinois area where there ain't much overlanding area around here. There's not much land that you can actually come and go and do different things with. So we have to try to find some private land. And most of the stuff down here is flat. Scenic, not really. Yes, it's different if you've never seen a lot of cornfields and a lot of other stuff like that. But, yeah. So we can do that kind of stuff. I just want to know, what kind of content are you guys looking for? Are you guys looking to see what's happening in Illinois and different areas you guys can go overland with? We've already gone to Shawnee National Park. We actually plan on going back there again. There's multiple areas we weren't able to visit in the time frame. So there's lots to do in southern Illinois, but northern Illinois by the Chicago area and a little bit south area, there's not really too many areas. I've seen some overland guys here. They've set up some different trails, and they've done some mall runs. And I'm sorry, I'm not a mall run guy. I'm more of a let's go out to the fields and let's go explore. Let's go check out the mountains. Let's go check out the trails. Let's go do different things. That's kind of why we're going to Michigan. They're going to be the closest that we can get to some of this overlanding stuff. So for about a 4.5 hour drive, that's not too bad. Bronco Sport, we got the 2021 Bronco Sport Outer Banks Edition. We've got that lifted 1.5 inches. Have they're about 30-inch tires on there. We went with 255 R18s. We kept the original rims just to kind of keep it nostalgia to that. We do plan on upgrading that later on, but that's later on down the road. Once we get the bigger lift kit that we can actually put bigger tires on that. Of course, we've got the trailer where the trailer tires match the Bronco tires. So in the event something ever happens, we can flip-flop them and get us off the trail. And I think that's all really cool stuff. So yeah, like I'm hoping you guys like this kind of stuff. If we can do anything to improve the channel, anything that we can talk about more of, let us know. You know, we always want to have some sort of interaction with our fans and people that follow us. So on the next episode 2, we're going to actually talk about the high gas prices. Where are you guys sitting with this? How is it affecting you guys with your travels? And are you guys traveling as much, or are you guys still traveling as much? Like, I want to know. For us, we haven't been able to travel that much because of work. We do feel a pain on the fuel pump when we go and fill up our vehicles, especially the Trailhawk. They use a little bit more gas than the Bronco Sport with the 3-cylinder compared to the 6-cylinder. So, yeah, where do you guys stand on that? So, I want to know. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comment below. Reach out to us. We'll see you guys on the next podcast. See you later.